Thank you, Kelsey. Welcome to the Derby City. It's homecoming. Jeff Brohm's Louisville Cardinals are 5-1 and ranked for the first time this season. Fresh off a season-changing victory last week, and then number 2 Miami.
Hard Rock Stadium might be the place for star power in South Florida. The number 2 ranked Hurricanes face 4-1 Louisville. Bill, it's a Louisville touchdown. What a start on the road, and Brown fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by Poyser. The Canes are alive. It's a jet sweep to Tony. Touchdown Miami. Gets rid of it quickly, and it is almost picked off. It is. It's intercepted. Louisville prepared, and they're going home with an upset.
Welcome to ACC Network College Football presented by ServPro. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. The Louisville Cardinals are hosting the Boston College Eagles. Louisville ranked number 19 tonight. And welcome inside L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium alongside Super Bowl champion and Virginia Cavalier Rodney McLeod. I'm George Sedano. Victoria Arlen will join us momentarily. Rod, this team, as we just saw, the Louisville Cardinals, a season-changing win against Miami. How do they avoid a letdown tonight?
Yeah, last week is last week. It's only a trap game if you allow it to be. Great teams, they never compromise preparation, practice, execution habits. If they want to win tonight, they have to come out with the same intensity or above, because this was required to win.
All right, let's take a look at how they did it last week at Miami. The defense set the tone for them.
Clicking on all cylinders right now. They found their identity. They're disruptive, physical, aggressive defense that likes to send a ton of pressure at the quarterback to confuse them, and it's led to double-digit turnovers for this football team. Look, they came into the season with a lot of question marks, but they quickly became the answer for this team.
You'll see the numbers here, the 4 turnovers forced, obviously, but the 63 yards allowed against Miami was certainly huge for a team that liked to run the football and did it at an excellent clip heading into that contest. Let's take a look at the offensive side of the ball. Miller Moss and company, they certainly held their own as well.
Yes, big 3 is what I like to call them, starting with Miller Moss. Precision passer, fluid mechanics in the pocket, and has a very nice touch of the football when he throws. And then he's an ultra competitor, and then he hands it off to Isaac Brown, who's a game breaker, fast, elusive, can take it a distance at any point in time. And then Chris Bell, physical wide receiver, strong at the top of the route. When he gets the ball in the open field, he is like a running back, and he's an NFL Sunday caliber wide receiver.
And there's the triplets, the big 3, as you mentioned, Rod, in their numbers last week in the win against the Hurricanes. Let's take a look at Boston College, though. A rough season for Bill O'Brien's squad. You see the numbers there. Worst start since 2012, and have yet to win a game against an FBS team. But they're not letting that be an issue tonight. They are still focused in this one. And speaking of their mindset, let's check in with Victoria.
This Boston College team is looking for their first win since September, and I spoke with head coach Bill O'Brien, and he emphasized how there was an edge, an anger, and some frustration in practice this week in a good way, because these guys, they're tired of losing, and they are fighting where most people would think they'd be checked out. That's not the case here. And when it comes to this game, coach also said how there is nothing to lose. We have this huge opportunity in a real big stadium with a great crowd. Who knows what could happen? Anything could happen, George.
Well, Bill O'Brien told us, Victoria, that he had a one-on-one check-in with 55 of his players this week heading into this one, just to see where their mindset was. The weather tonight, a little crisp in the air here in Louisville. 56 degrees. The broadcasters may need a little jacket action later on. We'll see how that holds up for you and me, Rod, up here in the booth, and for Victoria down below.
Yeah, maybe a beanie as well.
Louisville won the toss. They will defer. We'll take a look at the series history now. Louisville leading 10-7 all time. BC has not won here at Louisville, or altogether really, against the Cardinals since 2017. Rod, when we look at Jeff Brohm and just what he's been able to accomplish here at home, it's interesting because him being the native son coming back to his program, he says there's pros and cons to it, right? there's a little added pressure coming back home when the guy at the gas station can ask you about the game on a regular basis.
Yeah, but the passion is there. His heart is in the right place because he knows this environment better than anybody. And so this is a deeper level of just connection there because of it.
Alex Broom, TJ Green back to receive for Boston College. Nick Keller to kick it off for Louisville. And we'll see if Boston College can pull off what many feel could be an impossibility, the way Louisville's playing. And we're off here in the Derby City. BC will start at their own 25. Grayson James last week got his first start of the season, as we mentioned. Overall, the team is 3-3 in starts with Grayson James.
Yeah, Grayson James showed a lot of juice last week, particularly when this offense, he ran it very efficiently, particularly in the first half. I think the key to today is, can you sustain that momentum that you had in that first half to be able to take and upset this Cardinals team?
Grayson was 3-2 as the starter last year after Thomas Castellanos was benched. Empty backfield to start this one. Two tight ends for the Eagles. James, pressure in his face. He avoids one tackler. He gets taken down and spun around near the line of scrimmage. Wesley Bailey on the tackle.
Yeah, this Cardinals defense is going to send pressure all night. TJ Quinn coming off the edge. He just needs to finish. But Grayson James, he has to be aware there are going to be a lot of defenders in his face all night at the line of scrimmage. They're going to be moving. They're going to try to confuse you. You have to be ready.
Jordan McDonald in the backfield. He gets the start tonight. McDonald, he is stuffed near the line of scrimmage. He'll lose one. Khalid Perry plugged that hole up pretty quickly. Third down upcoming.
And this is where they come alive. This Louisville defense, they like to show complex looks to start and get to a simple look to finish. It's about the final picture. Grayson James has to try and find a way to identify exactly what they're trying to do.
3rd and 11. Pressure coming. James avoids it, throws on the run, sidearm, complete at the 40-yard line for a first down. What a play there by Grayson James, holding the opportunity to keep the play alive with his feet, connects with Reed Harris for the first down.
This is the benefit of putting in Grayson James because he can escape pressure. He keeps his eyes down the field and hits Reed Harris.
Reed Harris, his roommate. James now showing off his wheels, slides at the 47-yard line. A gain of 6 on the play.
This was a swifty move by Grayson James. Did he actually go down, or did he just hit a little hezzy and slide up?
By the way, the
ref?
Yeah, you see there, the ump might have helped out Boston College there.
Yeah.
So 2nd and 4 now. BC needs to get something on this drive. And flags on the field.
Start. Offense. Number 4. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
You only have a certain amount of drives in a game, 10 to 12. You can't have those kind of self-inflicted wounds.
Penalties cost Boston College last week. It hindered their drives, and because of it, they weren't able to keep drives alive. And so here they are, first drive, you find yourself going backwards already.
Yeah, they were behind the sticks the last time. They were able to find their way out of it due to Grayson James buying time. Play action, sidearms one to Lewis Bond, tunnel screen. He gets away from the first defender and taken down near midfield by TJ Quinn. He's down to the 49-yard line. Gain of 7, 3rd and 2 upcoming.
And this is what you want to do when you're Boston College. Make it a 3rd and manageable game so that you can control the play sheet, the play call sheet. Run, pass option here on 3rd and 2. It keeps the defense on their toes.
4 wide receivers, trips to the top of your screen. Louis Bond, one of the all-time receivers in BC history with that last catch. James, a threat to run, and there he is. He picks up the first down by about a yard. Gets 3 on that play. Grayson James keeps the chains moving.
It opens the playbook up so much for your offense when you can get it to 3rd and 5 and less. And when you have a quarterback like Grayson James, it forces the defense to play 11-on-11 football.
James looks comfortable out there after the start last week.
He does, and that's what you anticipate when you come in week 2.
There are the rushing numbers for this team last week as opposed to the previous games. Another flag on the field.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty, first down.
2 penalties on their first drive, Rod. Not how Bill O'Brien scripted this.
You can't do it. The pre-snap penalties hurt you. They're crushing their drives continuously throughout the season.
And the miscues there, the penalties have been an issue for them this season. Last year, they were one of the better teams in FBS. 1st and 15 now for James. Franklin in motion, the tight end. They give it to McDonald. Right up the gut, squirts through. And gets to the 45-yard line, let's call it.
And that's where Jordan McDonald really made an impact and a difference last week in between those tackles. He's a physical runner, and he ran through a lot of tackles last week. They'll need to get him going for them to stay on schedule as this game progresses.
He picked up 8 on that last carry. It'll be 2nd and 7. Louis Bond is someone they'll look for here usually. James with plenty of time, nobody open. He's going to tuck it and run. Headed towards the sideline, picks up the first down. Grayson James controlling the game despite the penalties thus far for BC.
Very mobile early in this game, and there you have it. The Cardinals defense showing initial look, getting out of it. James didn't like what he saw down the field, so he said, I'll take it myself.
1st and 10 from the 37. Another sidearm. This time to Chudzinski, the true freshman. Picks up a couple of yards there. D'Angelo Hutchinson wrapped him up. A 4-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, what I saw from James last week was a guy that didn't put the football in harm's way. He left that game with 0 interceptions, but he took his shots down the field, and then he tucked and ran when he needed to.
Louis Bond was in the backfield on those last 2 plays. Now he's at the top of your screen. Ty Lockwood at tight end, also at the top of the formation. They give it to McDonald, weaving through traffic down to the 30. And McDonald, he's a big back, as we talked about a little earlier, Rod. 6'1", 211 pounds. He can take some punishment.
Yeah, he embraces contact. But this Cardinals defense, they have to find a way that when Boston College hurts themselves and puts himself in 1st and 15, you have to keep them there. Right now, they let him off the hook, and now you're forced with another 3rd and short situation.
BC last week 4 of 15 on third down. This drive 2 of 2. Let's see what they do here. McDonald again. McDonald gets through and picks up the first down to the 24-yard line.
Again, look at this offensive line work. This power O play. Pullers coming around, Logan Taylor clearing the way for Jordan McDonald. Right now, they're leaning on this offensive line, and this defensive front has got to step up.
And McDonald seems to get a little smaller when he gets through the hole and then puffs back up to take the contact.
Yeah, really swift and nimble when it comes to his pad level. Low man wins.
12th play of the drive upcoming. You see Louis Bond, the wide receiver, the captain of this offense, to the right of Grayson James. Low snap, he gets it. Pressure coming. Lofts one. Just past his intended target. Kalen Chudzinski, the true freshman. James almost connected there on what would have been an extraordinary play.
Absolutely, but I couldn't tell if the defender was also overlapping Chudzinski there to grab the interception because he slightly overthrew him.
James now 3 of 4 through the air for 28 yards. 2nd and 10 from the 24-yard line. McDonald flexes out wide.
Now James has an indicator. Man or zone.
A tunnel screen to Dawson Pugh, the true freshman, and wrapped up right away. D'Angelo Hutchinson read that thing the whole way. 1-yard loss.
Big play by Hutchinson. He saw it all the way, and he didn't slow down. He attacked the receiver, and he made a big play.
D'Angelo Hutchinson, he's been here for a long time. This is his first year starting, and he's taken full advantage of that.
He is indeed. Had a number of big hits last week in Miami and came up with a big tackle right there to set up a 3rd and long situation.
3rd and 11. Alex Broom checks in at tailback. Now you see James changing the play at the line of scrimmage. James, he's going to run for it and taken down near the 20-yard line. It'll be short. A 5-yard gain, 4th and 6. The field goal unit will come out. A.J. Green was able to wrap up Grayson James.
Yeah, at home, you're going to see the Cardinals get up in the line of scrimmage a lot today. And sometimes they're going to rush, sometimes they're going to get out. But what it does is it confuses the quarterback. It not only buys time for your defensive line, but it also can force them into turnovers.
Luca Lombardo, 10 of 10 this season. He splits the uprights. So Boston College strikes first with a field goal, a 38-yarder for Luca Lombardo. Eagles with the early lead here in Louisville. Boston College, a 3-0 lead here at Louisville. Their last drive, 15 plays, 55 yards, 8 minutes, 24 seconds off the clock, Rod. And for them to win this game, ball control is going to have to be at the center of it.
Time of possession is key. You want to be able to minimize the amount of times this Cardinals offense can touch that field. And so because of it, you have to move the football. And they did that on that drive with a huge third down pickup at the start of it.
Andy Quinn kicks it off into the end zone. Miller Moss will take the field now for the Louisville Cardinals and lead them out. Moss, 3 games this season with 300+ yards passing, tied for 5th most in the nation. Those are the numbers last week in the victory against Miami.
In the last 3 games, he's really lit it up. 66% completion rate. He's very surgical with the football, and he's going to find Chris Bell a lot today.
Chris Bell, you mentioned earlier, an NFL-style receiver. Could be the best receiver in the nation. Hand it off. Isaac Brown tries to turn the corner. He does successfully, and down the sideline. And you see the home run speed now in open field. Can he get there? Taken down near the goal line by Isaiah Ferris, who saves a touchdown run, 73 yards right out of the chute for Isaac Brown.
This man has game-breaking, game-changing ability. All it takes is one person to miss and get out of position, and he'll make you pay. And on the first play of this ball game, he takes it the distance. He doesn't need many carries.
That's his 3rd rush of the season of 68 or more. Big game last week against Miami.
Picking up right where he left off, George.
Brown again. And looks to be short there. Stood up near the goal line. It'll be 2nd and goal upcoming. But listen, you can't blink when he's on the field.
No, and you have to pursue to the football. One man can, it's hard to bring this guy down. You need the army, all 11 men, to be in the picture at all times.
Isaac Brown last year over 1,100 yards on the ground, broke the Louisville freshman rushing record held by Lamar Jackson. You may have heard of that guy. 6 offensive linemen, 2 tight ends, and a fullback out there. And they go with the Miller Moss sneak. And it looks to be, they're still sorting it out.
I thought it was
Touchdown!
clearly that he got over to his.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
He was pushed in by Panarello, the fullback. Little tush push.
Yeah, he needed some help from his brothers to get in there. You couldn't ask for a better start if you're the Cardinals offense. One play, Isaac Brown gets you down there to the 1-yard line, and then you punch it in with Miller Moss.
The Louisville offense is explosive, and this BC team last week gave up 5 plays of 25 yards or more to UConn. They give up a big one of 73 to Isaac Brown.
And that's one of the keys to victory in your BC defense. Eliminate explosives. Not only in the pass game, but the run game as well.
3 plays, 75 yards, 147 off the clock. Cooper ran VA's extra point is good, but it's that man, Isaac Brown, who did all the work. And then Miller Moss caps it off for the touchdown. 7-3 Louisville.
BC Primetime Football is presented by Serve Pro, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration.
Some of the big upsets in Louisville sports history. See the ladies there, Muhammad Ali before that, the Kentucky Derby, and last week, I mean, it's up there for sure. One of the better wins for this football program in recent history. They lead 7-3, the Cardinals do over the Boston College Eagles, and they struck quickly, Rod.
Absolutely, and they can do that because they have dynamic playmakers. They get them the ball in space. As a defense, they put a lot of pressure on you. You have to tackle well versus this Louisville Cardinal offense.
Nick Keller kicks it off. It will sail into the end zone. BC will start at their own 25. On the other side, they trail by 4. They got a field goal. They're going to need touchdowns to stay in this one. Welcome back here to Louisville. They lead 7-3 over BC. Time for Rod's Nods. What are you looking at, Rod, for these teams?
Yeah, Boston College, they have to minimize the explosive. We saw it on that first drive. They didn't do a good job at tackling, right? Explosive plays can happen on the ground or the air. Tackle well in space. Again, they're going to put the guys in space. You have to tackle well. Louisville's defense, make BC one-dimensional. Force them into longer down and distances, and then win the one-on-one matchup versus Reed Harris when he throws it up to him.
He found Reed Harris earlier. James did. They hand it off to McDonald. This time they snuff it out. A loss on that play. TJ Quinn not fooled.
TJ Quinn, one of the leaders of this defense. He makes a lot of plays, a lot of TFLs, and a few interceptions to go along with it. Good start to this drive.
Fifth-year senior out of Valdosta, Georgia. 2nd and 11 for Grayson James and the Eagles. Pocket holds. He flips it over. Complete to Franklin, his tight end. Should have enough for the first down. He does.
That's a seasoned veteran, Grayson James, on display here. Cool, calm, and poised in finding Jeremiah Franklin in that zone.
12-yard gain to Franklin on that first down. James now going to run for it. Huge hole on the left side and dives forward, short of the sticks by a yard. D'Angelo Hutchinson covered him up at the 45-yard line.
And the tempo worked last week for Grayson James. And here they are again, back at it.
2nd and 1 for the Eagles. Inside handoff to McDonald. McDonald falls over in Louisville territory. Picks up the first down to the 49. A 6-yard gain. On that last drive where the Eagles scored 3 points, it was a 15-play drive. That's the longest in the Bill O'Brien era on any drive.
Just very methodical going down the field and controlling the clock.
That's their recipe here tonight. Alex Broom now checks in for the 2nd time at tailback, the redshirt junior from Nashville, Tennessee. Jeremiah Franklin at fullback. They toss it to Broom on the outside. And Broom picks up a nice chunk of change. Picks up 5.
And defensive coordinator Rob English, he said this week that this defensive line, they have to play big, particularly versus the Boston College run game. And so far, they haven't answered.
2nd and 5, back to the air for James. Takes a shot, floats one, complete to his tight end, Kalen Chudzinski, the true freshman. Picks up the first down.
James just finds him wide open in the zone. Chudzinski does a good job. All of it is set up off of the run game. You establish a run game, the play fake works.
Chudzinski, of course, the son of Rob Chudzinski, famed offensive coordinator in college at the University of Miami, won a national championship. In the pros, certainly had multiple stops in the NFL, was a pretty good tight end himself in college at the University of Miami as well. And he's now an offensive analyst here, a senior analyst for Bill O'Brien. Chudzinski, Kalen, has only been playing football for 2 years. He was a hockey player before.
He leads all freshman tight ends right now.
2nd and 8 for the Eagles. But he got some good tutelage, certainly from Dad, to become a football player, and it's working out for the Eagles' benefit. We'll see what James does here. Dumps it over the middle. Complete to Pugh. And Pugh will be about a yard or so shy of the marker. 3rd down and short upcoming for the Eagles after the 6-yard gain. 3rd and 1.
Cardinals are finding themselves every drive in this 3rd and 5 or less situation. Now you're in another 3rd and 1. And so you have to do better on 1st and 2nd down in order for you to have a chance to win on 3rd downs.
McDonald in the pistol formation behind James on 3rd and 1. 2 tight ends out there. McDonald up the gut, picks up the first down. Still fighting for yardage. Down to the 7. 4-yard gain.
This is all done by the offensive line. These guys are working well up in the front in the trenches. That's where the game is won. It's in the trenches.
McDonald, 7 carries for 25 yards, had 100 yards last week against UConn, only his 2nd 100-yard game of his career.
That is the end of the first quarter.
That'll be the end of the first quarter. Louisville leading by 4, but BC knocking at the door. for BC goal to goal, but just a moment ago, Victoria caught up with Bill O'Brien of Boston College.
All right, Coach, you talked earlier this week emphasizing how you need to hold it down in the first half. After one quarter, what more do you need to see to be able to be successful at that?
We got to score right here, and we got to stop them on defense. It's one play, 78 yards or whatever it was. I mean, we got to do a better job there setting the edge, and we got to get a touchdown right here.
Thank you, Coach.
James, right on cue, scores that touchdown to Louis Bond. Coach. He wanted to score. He got it.
And they answer right now. And this is all done by the play fake. Louis Bond shows as if he was going to block the end receiver, and then he comes back and then finds him in the back of the end zone. Well executed play by this Eagles offense.
Louis Bond, his first touchdown of the season. It's kind of wild. Extra point is up and good. 10 plays, 75 yards, and Boston College, the recipe we've talked about. Control the clock. The time of possession right now for these teams is certainly lopsided in BC's favor. Over 14 minutes for Boston College thus far.
And this is all done by the run game. When you start losing in the trenches, and they're getting positive yardage, now that play fake matters. And that's what happened. Louis Bond acted as if he was going to crack the defender, showed his hands, and came back out into the 7 route. And James found him.
What's a 7 route?
It's a 7 route. We're going to the corner of the end zone.
And then cutting across like the top of the 7.
It's a flag. Like you going towards the pylon is the 7 route.
Copy.
Yes, sir.
Only the 6th touchdown pass, by the way, allowed by the Louisville defense this season. And this one goes in the end zone, so Louisville will begin at their own 25. Let's go downstairs to Victoria.
Guys, I was standing right by the end zone next to Coach O'Brien when that touchdown went down, and he was he's a pretty chill guy. He was not chill in that moment. He made sure to high five every single guy coming off and telling them, way to do your job, way to do your job, don't quit, keep it going.
All right, Victoria, thank you. It's been a rough go, as we documented earlier, for this team, but he's said his team stayed in the fight. We mentioned a moment ago that he had a check-in with 55 players this week heading into this contest. Let's see if Louisville can answer as they trail by 3. Moss with time, lets one rip, and off target there to Trayshawn Hurry, the transfer from San Jose State. 2nd and 10.
It's imperative that this Cardinals offense, they answer accordingly, because the way Boston College offense is playing, you're not sure on how many possessions you're actually going to be able to get.
Yeah, again, the ball control will be interesting. Louisville's only possessed the ball for a minute and change thus far after that big Isaac Brown run. Moss on the run, finds his target on the crosser. It's Colin Lacey. Has enough to get him to the 31, so it'll be a 6-yard gain, 3rd and 4 upcoming.
Lacey just running away from man-to-man coverage, and Miller Moss, he's not known for being the most mobile quarterback, but there he escapes the pressure and finds Lacey for a first down, or for a big game.
3rd and 4 now. Miller Moss got the ball up quickly last week against that Miami pass rush. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. They throw it incomplete. Intended for Chris Bell. Carter Davis in coverage on Bell.
Good coverage by Carter Davis. They were playing man-to-man, and this was a play that they ran a lot last week. Just a simple underneath route by Chris Bell. Miami didn't do a good job. There, Carter Davis is right in the pocket of Chris Bell, and because of it, it's 4th down.
Boston College on defense, one of the worst on 3rd downs. This one a bit of a shank. Carter Schwartz takes a Louisville bounce and ends up being okay for them as they downed it at the 27-yard line. Schwartz got a little lucky on that one.
Very lucky.
Rod, Boston College, again, has a real opportunity to seize here on this drive.
They do. They can take command of this football game and put yourself in the driver's seat. That's what you came here to do, and that's what you need to do. Keep running the football, and Grayson James, keep finding the open receivers.
James in shotgun. They bring the blitz, but James keeps it. Runs up the middle. Picks up 2 yards. And Grayson James, it's interesting because this is a young man who's been in this organization, this program for 2 years now. And they've talked about when they got him from FIU, he was not necessarily sought out when he arrived, but he's become a much better player and passer under Bill O'Brien.
He's grown up a lot. And last week, he was ready for the moment. Even though the result was a loss, he showed a lot in that game, and he's showing a ton to start this one.
33 yards on the ground for him. Now out to the air. Incomplete. Dangerous pass there. TJ Capers got his paw on that one. It'll be 3rd and 8 now, as that one was intended for Dawson Pugh.
A really good drop by TJ Capers. Just getting in his zone, reading the eyes of Grayson James, and almost coming away with a big interception. But right now, it's 3rd and 8. You have to get off the field right now in this Cardinals defense. Put your team in good field position.
BC 4 of 5 on 3rd downs. There were a lot of black shirts in the area when he threw it to Pugh. Alex Broom on the right hit of Grayson James on this 3rd and 8. They're showing blitz. James, flag flies, pressure coming. He throws it up for grabs. It's caught, but wrapped up immediately. Dawson Pugh able to get that as James got hit as he threw, but flags are all over the field. There's 2 of them, actually. One at the top of your screen at the 42-yard line, and then one at the bottom at the 28. The pressure on that play by Denzel Lowry and Clev Lubin.
There are 2 fouls. Illegal motion, number 11 on the offense. Holding by the defense, number 25. Those fouls will offset. Replay 3rd down.
Lewis Bond did not set, and then Tayon Holloway. So we'll do it again.
Get a second crack at it.
What did you make of the play call they had previously?
I like the play call because it got Lewis Bond, your playmaker, in movement pre-snap to be able to force communication from the Cardinals defense.
Alex Broom checks back in the backfield. Louisville showing blitz. They bring the heat. James fires. It's caught. Kalen Chudzinski goes upstairs to get it and picks up a huge 1st down. 30-yard gain.
Grayson James standing strong in the pocket and finding Chudzinski. This dude is nice. This is a young man that just entered college football and making big-time plays for this offense.
And as we mentioned, he was a hockey player up until 2 years ago. But that's what happens when dad has been a successful tight end and offensive coordinator. James takes a hit as he slides. Louisville needs to be careful there. JoJo Evans with the hit, a 4-yard gain.
You're very risky by JoJo Evans coming in. It's a little late on the hit. It might have been.
And helmet to helmet, it looks like, too.
You don't want to do anything to hurt your team right now. You got to settle into this football game.
Looks like they're going to review it.
The previous play is under further review for potential targeting.
Yeah, again, targeting, for those that are not familiar with it, it is the 6-inch radius of the crown of the helmet. We'll take a look at it on the way out here as we go to break. It's going to be close. Welcome back to Louisville. Boston College with a 3-point lead and driving at the moment. On that last play, they reviewed this play for targeting on JoJo Evans. The call on the field was no targeting, and it was upheld. It was shoulder to shoulder first. 2nd and 7 now for James and company. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of your screen. And James running it. And wrapped up and flung to the ground near midfield by Rene Conga.
That's a play that this defense desperately needed. Conga just locks out and just rushes up the field. Makes a big-time play.
Yeah, Michael Krauts got beat pretty badly on that. Their center. A 6-yard loss. 3rd and 13.
This is what you want right now. You're this Cardinals defense. Get to your depth. Have good lane distribution in the back end. Rally and make the tackle. Expecting the Eagles to throw it short of the sticks.
The Eagles have converted 2 third downs and 2 third downs and longs on 3rd and 8 and 3rd and 11. This one to Bond, and not much there. They get past the original line of scrimmage. Wesley Bailey wrapped him up. But it'll be 4th down. They're in no man's land, though, inside the 40.
They're playing aggressive tonight. This Eagles offense, they came here, they said, we're coming here to win. This is the opportunity that we have.
It'll be 4th and 8. Broom in the backfield with James. 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Kalen Chudzinski at the bottom of your screen. Already made a couple of big catches. James with time, throws it, sails it over his target. Dangerous pass intended for Louis Bond. And a turnover on downs. And some extracurricular activity with Louis Bond and D'Angelo Hutchinson. As you see here, Louis didn't like the little helmet-to-helmet contact there. Hutchinson might have flopped. All right, Kelsey, thank you. Interesting times down there in South Florida. Perhaps shell-shocked a little bit still after Louisville beat them at home last Friday. Louisville in some trouble here early, down 3. Perhaps a bit of a letdown factor, at least early on. They trail 10-7. Moss and company. They go back to the ground to Isaac Brown. He squirts through the hole and taken down already in Boston College territory. A 12-yard gain and a first down.
Just do more of this. Get a ball to Isaac Brown out the backfield. Good blocking by the offensive line. Let him find a crease and do what he does best.
Brown has 4 carries, 87 yards already. The big 73-yard run that got this thing started for Louisville on their first drive got them right down to the 1. They punched it in afterwards. Play action. Moss all day to throw. Lets it fly. Incomplete. Sails it over the head of his tight end, Nate Kariski. He had Kariski, who had a step.
Just missed him. That's a tough one. That was a pretty ball.
And Moss not happy. 1 of 4 for 6 yards for Miller Moss right now. TJ Green, the true freshman in coverage from San Diego, California. So he picked on a Southern California kid, Miller Moss. He's from Southern California as well. And a big hit by Omar Thornton on a 2-yard gain on that run.
Yeah, Omar Thornton is a guy that lays the lumber. He comes to play.
And he was looking up, head up on that play. It'll be 3rd and 8. The crowd wants a targeting there, but he was looking up. Again, he was in the right position. Kewan Brown now in the backfield, his first carry of the game, but the officials are going to give Louisville a timeout because they want the officials a chance to review this one. Let's take one more look at that play by Thornton. Wait, maybe he wasn't looking up.
He does lower the head. Helmet. Yeah. Leads with the helmet.
We'll see what they say on the other side. 3-point ball game here in Louisville. They trail by 3. No review on this play. As you see there, Thornton led with the shoulder. So the officials said only a timeout for Louisville. They did not need to review it. 3rd down. 3rd and 9. Moss drops back, pressure comes. He tosses it at the feet of his receiver, incomplete. Intended for his tight end, Jaleel Skinner. And BC forces another punt. The pressure there by KP Price, who came off the edge.
Eagles are on the aggressive side tonight and sending a lot of pressure towards Miller Moss. And back in the back end, they did a good job at covering up Chris Bell. We haven't heard his name one time tonight.
He did throw it one time his way. Punt by Schwartz. And this one goes out of bounds inside the 15. Coming up next, the ACC Huddle Final Score crew will have a complete wrap-up of our game and the whole day. Highlights, analysis, interviews with players and coaches. They'll have you covered right here on ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app. Interesting times in the ACC, man. Wake Forest,
you never know,
pulled one out today against SMU at the last second. North Carolina was stopped on a 2-point conversion against your squad from Virginia. BC with a lead here. Stanford and Miami tied at the half. ACC football in October gets crazy. Jordan McDonald with a big hole, lowers the shoulder, and down after an 8-yard gain. D'Angelo Hutchinson eventually chopped him down.
And here's BC back up on the ball. Tempo takes away this defensive line. It doesn't allow them to rush effectively like they want to. And the only way to stop it is create negative plays.
2nd and 2 for James in the empty backfield. Louisville showing blitz. Here they come. They pick it up. Pump fake. Tosses to Bond. Bond picks up the 1st down. Breaks some tackles and gets across to the 30-yard line. A 1st down for BC. A 7-yard gain for Louis Bond.
They're targeting Louis Bond a lot tonight. They want to give him the ball about 20 times, and they're finding ways to do it and just not going down.
Run up the middle. Jordan McDonald. TJ Quinn brought him down after a 4-yard gain. And Louis Bond, to your point, they did say they wanted to get him the ball about 20 times. They had him in the backfield on a couple of plays in an earlier possession.
He's a stud. He's going down in history. And so you got to find ways to get him the football because he's a dynamic playmaker.
2nd and 6. Franklin, the tight end, in motion. Low snap, fake the toss. Now they throw it to McDonald. McDonald gets hit. And he goes out of bounds. TJ Capers.
And right now, the tempo is affecting the Cardinals defense. They're not even set. There's nobody out in the flats.
And the officials finally signal 1st down on that one. It was close. Right at the 40-yard line. Our ACC officials tonight. Alex Broom now checks in the backfield. Louis Bond, there you see, one of the all-time leading receivers in Eagles history. Trailing Zay Flowers and chasing his record mark in receptions. James going to show off his wheels. Tripped up from behind, stays on his feet, and taken down after an 8-yard gain. 2nd and 2 upcoming, and Grayson James controlling the tempo.
They're keeping him off beat. They can't find a rhythm. Cardinals defense is looking lost right now.
2nd and 2 for James. They give it to Broom. Broom will be short of the marker by a couple of inches. It'll be 3rd and short. If you're Louisville, you need this stop here. You got to stop earlier.
Desperately need to stop, and it starts in the trenches. You have to play on the other side of the line of scrimmage right now.
McDonald, the big back in the backfield. 6'1", 211 pounds. In the pistol formation. They give it to him. Up the gut. He should have enough, although it's close. TJ Quinn tried to hold him back, but they give him the first down. Quinn could not hold on. He tried for dear life, but McDonald was able to get it.
That's what McDonald brings to the table. He's always going forward.
And we have someone down.
Injury timeout to the offense.
It looks to be Kevin Klein, the right tackle. The grad transfer. Or excuse me, graduate, not a grad transfer. From Boca Raton, Florida. And being helped off. Might have gotten leg whipped on this play. Let's take a look. Yeah, some friendly fire perhaps.
Yeah, it's hard up there in the interior. Bodies falling, going everywhere. Hopefully he's all right.
And the redshirt sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Ryan Mickow from St. Thomas Aquinas, will be in for Klein. There he is, big number 58. So the South Florida kid being replaced by another South Florida kid. Hopefully Klein will be okay. They're checking him out. I'm sure Victoria will keep us posted on that. Boston College, by the way, third down conversions. The last two games combined, they had 7 in the 2 previous games. Tonight, already 6, Rod.
This is what you want to see. You come in on the road after a tough loss last week, and the way that you stay in this game is getting first downs.
And their time of possession certainly slanted in their direction. Those third down conversions helping. James flushed, throws off his back foot, complete to Franklin at the 45-yard line. A pickup of 5 on the play. Pressure by Cleb Lubin on James.
It's time for this Cardinals defense to have one of their playmakers make a play. TJ Quinn, Antonio Watts, guys that have continuously shown up for them. They need you.
James, a quick toss to Bond. He's got blocking, and Bond picks up the first down as he gets down to the 35-yard line.
Bond picked up some good blocking on that perimeter. Antonio Watts gets knocked down by Reed Harris, and Louis Bond just finds a lane.
Wide receiver helping him out there, Reed Harris. Bond mentoring him here at Boston College and helping out his mentor. 1st and 10. James, pressure backside, throws it out of bounds. Luckily for him. Let's go downstairs to Victoria.
Guys, Louis Bond over the summer started taking long walks to help him maintain his composure and stay present with himself, to keep that one step at a time mentality. And he said he doesn't have as much time now with his workload, but it's something that to remind him keeping it one step at a time. I talked to him about Grayson and if he has to change anything with that, and he goes, no. He goes, I just have to stay open and catch the ball.
Yeah, well, he's certainly been able to do that throughout his career, regardless who the quarterback has been, Victoria. 2nd and 10 for James. Backpedals, throws it incomplete behind his intended target, the true freshman Dawson Pugh. And 3rd down and 10 upcoming.
It's a favorable position for this Cardinals defense. Biggest thing is when you bring pressure and you rush Grayson James, keep him in the pocket, keep him contained. Too many times today he's been able to escape a sack.
We've seen pressure on the last couple of 3rd downs from Louisville. And this time they hand it off to McDonald. Picks up positive yardage to the 29-yard line. JoJo Evans tripped him up after the 6-yard gain. 4th and 4. What do you do?
That's letting you know right there what type of game this is. They're going for it on 4th down. Every time they go across the 50-yard line, they're working with the mindset of third down. Hey, we're just getting half of the sticks back in order for go for it on fourth.
They're 0 for 1 on fourth down tonight. McDonald in the backfield on the left hip of Grayson James. 3 receivers up top in a diamond formation. James takes the snap. Throws incomplete at the 25-yard line, intended for Lewis Bond, but Antonio Watts was there in coverage. And a turnover on downs. Flags, though, flying on the field after a bunch of extracurricular activity between the two teams. We'll have to sort that out.
Competitive juices are flying right now, George. It's hard to contain it. This is we're under the lights right now. This is a big game on a big stage for these young men.
That's their second fourth down stop, Louisville. But I like the aggressiveness of Boston College.
Yeah, like I said, they came off the bus with one thing in mind, and that's to win the football game.
The officials still discussing.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 71 on Boston College. It's going to be first down and 10 after the 15-yard penalty is administered. And 71 is charged with his first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
That's Jude Bowery, the redshirt junior. So that was the original play. Now let's see what transpired afterwards. Here we go. Oh, he pulled the face mask and pushed down Cleb Lubin. But again, the second guy always gets caught. And maybe it looks like there was some stuff going on there, but you can't grab a face mask.
You have to have self-control. In games like this, emotions are running high, but self-control will win every time.
And Louisville, despite the time of possession being slanted heavily in BC's favor, in good position here. Moss on the slant, complete to Chris Bell. Wait, but the ball, is it loose? Because Boston College is saying they have it. And they do! KP Price came up with it. Let's take another look at that.
It's a huge play right now.
The ruling on the field is a catch, fumbled, and recovered by Boston College. And that play is under further review.
Yeah, I don't know if he ever had possession fully in my eyes.
Let's see here. It's not secure.
He never secured it. He was trying to get it to that position to secure it. And he came off the elbow with the tackle.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's an incompletion. Boston College, by the way, coming into this one, a -5 turnover differential, tied for second worst in the ACC.
Yeah, incomplete.
And they were hoping for some turnover luck there. Let's see if we can take one more look. What do you think? Still think incomplete?
I still stand where I stood earlier. Incomplete.
The officials still under the hood. Riley Johnson, our lead official. It's a big call, clearly.
Huge call. When you're a road team like Boston College, it's imperative that defensively, you try to get minimum 1 turnover to help your team out. This could be the turnover that they need. But I believe it's an incomplete Cardinals football.
After further review, it's an incomplete pass. The ball will be brought back to the previous spot, and it's second down.
And that's the right call. It would have been Bell's first catch of the night, but I'm sure they'll be okay with it, and he'll be okay with it considering what the result could have been. It would have been catastrophic in the other way.
Absolutely. You retain the ball. Now you have second down.
You live to fight another down if you're Louisville. They trail by 3. Empty backfield. Loss 1 of 6 for only 6 yards at the moment. Pocket collapsing. He throws it complete to Antonio Meeks, and Meeks gets into BC territory at the 49. Omar Thornton and Carter Davis brought him down after the gain of 7.
Way to set up a 3rd and short. Miller Moss is a good timing throw to set up a 3rd and manageable situation.
By the way, we've not seen Isaac Brown since the hit he took from Omar Thornton earlier in the game.
That's something to keep a watch on.
3rd and 3 from Moss and company. They throw it in the flat to Kewan Brown. He's got a first down and then some, racing down the sideline and taken down near the 10-yard line. KP Price saved the touchdown, but Kewan Brown, a 39-yard gain, and the Cardinals are in business. The 2-minute timeout.
We've reached the 2-minute timeout.
Louisville trailing by 3, but knocking at the door. Boston College controlling the clock, and the amount of plays right now, ball control offense for them, has given them a 3-point lead. But despite all that, Louisville's big playability has got them knocking at the door at the 11-yard line.
Lopsided numbers, but as you said, it's the big playability that's put them in this position here.
They have 2 plays that have been big chunk explosive plays, 1 of 73 and 1 of 38. Kewan Brown back on the ground. And a short gain there. I was mentioning earlier the explosive plays for Louisville, 73 and 38 yards, including the last one by Kewan Brown. That's 2 plays for 111 yards. The other 12 have netted them only 32 yards. We have a timeout on the field. Louisville has 2 timeouts here. Boston College takes their first. Women's sports take over the afternoon every Sunday on ACC Network, and this week, the evening too. We start at noon Eastern with volleyball. Number 5 Stanford squared off against Georgia Tech, and at 7 Eastern, NC State hosts number 7 Duke in soccer. Both are available on the all-new ESPN app. The ACC, plenty of teams in that top 10. I believe 5 in women's soccer and 4 in volleyball. 2nd and 8 for the Cardinals. Moss surrounded, now he's got a huge hole to run it in and gets in the end zone for a touchdown. A 9-yard score for Miller Moss. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the day.
Jeff Brom told us this week, I need Miller Moss to make 1 or 2 of these plays with his legs, and it's the perfect time to do so. After your team has been struggling this half, you come away with a touchdown on the ground.
And as we mentioned, Boston College has controlled this game, but explosive plays have allowed Louisville to take a 4-point lead here as we're getting ready to finish the first half.
Absolutely, George. And Miller Moss here, patient as can be, found the lane, saw it, didn't hesitate, and took off to get into the end zone, putting his team on top.
I don't think Miller Moss, I'd have to ask him. We talked to him earlier this week, and he talked to us about a number of different things, including the changes he went through coming from USC and wanting to play for Coach Jeff Brom. He talked about a number of things, including having to just kind of learn almost like a new language in a lot of ways, articulating the plays in the huddle and processing it, the 15-word plays, and getting them out to everyone. That wasn't stuff he had to do for Lincoln Riley at USC.
Absolutely, and he talked about the volume of Jeff Brom's playbook. You know, he wasn't accustomed to it, and so it was a little learning curve for him. He wasn't here, and it took time, and so now he's in a place of comfortability where not only is he leading his football team, but he has a voice as well.
I was going to mention that he has the 2 rush TDs again. It's a career high in college. I got to ask him, did that even happen in high school? Like, I'd love to know. You know, down in Palisades in Southern California. And they boot this one through the end zone. Let's take a look at Grayson James's night here.
Grayson James, he's just done what's asked of him as a quarterback. Put the ball in good position and make the right play, the smart play. And that's why they're in this football game right now. Despite what everybody else thought coming into this game, Grayson James believed.
Grayson James, 14 of 20 for 140 yards, has the 1 touchdown, and then on the ground has 10 carries for 38 yards. Let's see if he can get his team 1 more score to either take the lead or inch closer. He's got time here and sails that one over the head of Bond. It'll be 2nd and 10 for James.
Had really good coverage on the outside by Hutchinson. Sticky coverage versus Bond. But I want to see this Eagles offense get back into that up-tempo rhythm that you were in. That was effective. I know you're managing the clock. It's 2 minutes, but that's paid you off this far.
James. Pressure in his face, throws it up, incomplete. intended for Reed Harris. That one hung up there a little long, and D'Angelo Hutchinson was able to make the hit on Harris.
Nice pass breakup by Hutchinson, displaying the half-field position. And like you said, George, the ball hung up there, but a good punch through the basket of Reed Harris.
3rd and 10. And this Louisville defense, who's had 2 big 4th down stops already for BC, against BC rather, has a big 3rd down here to try to get their offense one more shot. James, pressure coming, and James escapes somehow, directing traffic, takes a deep shot, incomplete, intended for the streaking Harris. Jabari Mack able to get back there in coverage. That one off target.
What a wild play, but a good heads-up play by Jabari Mack, just doing his job, being exactly where it's supposed to be, seeing where Grayson James was going, and, man, made a game-saving pass breakup.
And this is kind of dangerous now for Louisville, or excuse me, for Boston College, because Colin Lacey's back there. He's got 2 punt returns for touchdowns. And Boston College, if you look at the numbers, they should be in control. They trail by 4, and the dangerous Lacey gets there. That one might have gotten interfered with. There's a flag down, and it rolls out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. It looks like they hit the punter. We'll see the official word here in a moment, but Bill O'Brien's getting his offense back on the field. We'll see if it's the 5-yard variety or the 15.
Running into the kicker on the defense, penalties decline. Results of the play is a turnover or a changeover, 1st down.
Yep, it was only running into the kicker. So as I mentioned right before Riley Johnson had opened his mic, is it the 5-yard or 15-yard variety? And it was the 5-yarder.
Yeah, that's the right call.
Yeah, oh, no doubt, absolutely. But again,
I know O'Brien was trying to convince him the other way.
Yeah, but there was nothing to that. Isaac Brown is back in the lineup. We haven't seen him since he took that hit from Omar Thornton. Miller Moss and company, plenty of time to work with, 2 timeouts and good field position. They give it to Brown. Brown on the outside. He's got 1 man to beat. See you later. Touchdown. $62 yards. And just like that, this thing has flipped in Louisville's favor, and they're in control.
This man can score in a hurry, but it's the blocking that sealed that edge for him. Rasheed Miller allowing him to have an edge, having space, and doing what he does best. And that's just flat out speed on display.
The safety tried to get the angle, but had no chance. Extra point is up and good. This Louisville team, they are impressive on offense.
We in Derby City, baby. Horses run fast. Isaac Brown putting the speed on display all night.
Yeah, Moss knew. Once he turned that corner, he's like, I know what my guy can do.
It's over.
He hits the gas and see ya. And if you look at it, Rod, and we've been discussing it throughout, Boston College had the right plan going into this one. And their aggressiveness, I thought, was well thought out. It just, unfortunately for them, they couldn't execute on a couple of 4th down plays in Louisville territory. Louisville's defense steps up, and then we've had the 3 explosive plays. 2 by Brown, 1 of 62, 1 of 73, that led to a touchdown by Moss, and then the 38-yarder by Kewan Brown that set up another touchdown.
Absolutely. And I think the biggest thing was this is the first time that Boston College wasn't able to get over midfield. So that set up this field position, getting Carlos in good field position with that punt, which contributed to that long run that we just saw.
2 timeouts for Boston College. What would you like to see them do here?
Get back to up-tempo style offense. That is what gave you so much production earlier in this game. So that's what I want to see from them. But also, you know, you got to be mindful. It's a minute on the clock, and you want to manage the clock well because you don't want them to get the ball back again and do what they just did.
Right, because they still have 2 timeouts.
Correct.
they didn't need much time on that last drive. McDonald in the backfield. Louisville creeping up at the line of scrimmage. James to the air. They check it down to McDonald and pushed out of bounds at the 27-yard line by Caleb Perry.
You want that clock to tick, you know, so quick throws, but inbounds to allow that clock to tick until you pick up the first down. Then you get into the more that two-minute mode.
2nd and 8. Clock stop as he went out of bounds. Jordan McDonald did. James. Pocket is clean. Takes a deep shot. Wants Harris. Too far. Jabari Mack in coverage again. He's been locked up with Harris thus far.
Jabari Mack is doing his job, and I said it at the top of the broadcast. You have to win the one-on-one matchup versus Reed Harris when Grayson James takes those shots. And Jabari Mack has answered twice now.
Grayson James is 1 for his last 8. Now 15 of 25 overall for 142 yards. Low snap, James. Pressure in his face, throws it over his intended target, Lewis Pond. Pressure in his face by Cleb Lubin again. He has been in the backfield a lot in this 2nd quarter. And BC forced to punt deep in their own territory.
This is what you didn't want to happen, George. You give the ball back to the Cardinals in good field position with a dangerous returner, but an even more dangerous offense.
Yeah, Colin Lacey, as we mentioned, 2 touchdown returns on punts this year. We were here for the first one in the opener. High punt, fair catch inside the 35. Isaac Brown has had a day already, man. A 73-yard run and a 62-yard run, and really giving Louisville all sorts of momentum in this one.
Isaac Brown, he's a difference maker. He has the home run ability every time he gets the football, and tonight he's putting on a clinic.
You see the explosive nature and the reason why he had over 1,100 yards last year, 1,174 to be exact. Brown 5 carries, 151 yards, and the touchdown.
He's the type of runner you have to meet in the backfield.
And Colin Lacey, the Wildcat, snap here. And he picks up 9. Timeout, Louisville. Jeff Brom, we saw this last week. He's going to put out some funky formations out there.
30-second charge timeout.
Thank you, Mr.
Please
Johnson.
reset the game clock to 30 seconds.
Last week.
That is Louisville's 2nd charge timeout of the half.
All right, Riley, we got it. Last week, he put out 3 quarterbacks out there at receiver when Colin Lacey was back there. Jeff Brom is a magician, man. He is going to play chess with you in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, the creative style was able to create that lead for him last week, and it puts a lot of pressure on the defense. You know, presenting those multiple looks, it forces mass communication.
Jeff Brom coming off a big win last week against Miami. Their first win against a top 2 team since 2016. They did it against Florida State here. Kewan Brown in the backfield now. 2nd and 1. 30 seconds to go in the half. Kewan takes it this time, gets through the hole and into BC territory down to the 47. A first down for Kewan Brown, a gain of 10. And the clock stops briefly to reset the chains. Time is ticking. Moss, flag flies. And looks like some more action between the teams. And not of the variety that the coaches will be happy with.
False start. Offense, number 60. 5-yard penalty. First down. To avoid a 10-second runoff, Louisville is using the third and final timeout of the half.
That is Rasheed Miller, the fifth-year senior, transfer from Georgia Southern. Jeff Brom, as we mentioned,
Game clock operator, let's put 20 seconds.
Look at this against top 5 teams. When he was at Purdue, he was knocking them off fairly regularly. You see one against Ohio State in 2018, 2021 against Iowa. Did it to Michigan State. Also in 2021, and then against Miami on the road. Got those boots, those bronze Howard Schnellenberger boots. That game, the Howard Schnellenberger Trophy. Coach Brom played for Howard Schnellenberger here on that 1990 Fiesta Bowl team. Howard Schnellenberger obviously began the dynasty for the University of Miami in the early 80s. But Brom, an incredibly successful coach in his career.
Yeah, he has a very decorated career and notorious for those big wins, just like the one we saw last week.
Yeah, be careful, he'll pop you. Yeah. First and 15, 20 seconds to go, no timeouts for Louisville. Moss with time, fires over the middle, and it's caught inside the 35, down to the 30-yard line. Antonio Meeks with his second catch of the game, a first down. Again, they don't have a timeout. They got to spike it, and they do. 23-yard gain, and they are in field goal range.
Yeah, just a good throw by Miller Moss, but not enough depth from that Eagles defense, and he finds the dig on that second level. And a big game. That is the game that you want when you're trying to put yourself in position for a field goal or possibly 7.
They got time for one more play. You got to do it towards the sideline, one would assume, no?
For sure. It's like you take a shot to the end zone. If I'm Miller Moss, if it's not there, line up to kick the field goal.
A delay
Offense.
of game.
5-yard penalty. Second out.
Wow. And I'm guessing Coach Brom not thrilled about that one. As he's barking orders towards Miller Moss.
Yes. Same mindset, though. Shot to the end zone or nothing.
So you're saying no sideline attempt? Okay.
Of course, sideline to get out of bounds, but if I'm here, I'm aggressive.
Yeah, okay,
I'm looking at Bell. They give me one-on-one, taking it.
He's there with Carter Davis lined up on him. Moss looked that way, now throws it out of bounds as he's flushed out of the pocket. So now this field goal attempt becomes a little trickier. And Brom not thrilled with his quarterback on that one. Cooper Ranvier, his long this year of 50. And this one, a 52-yard attempt. From the right hash. He kicks this one, and it is off the upright. No good. And that'll do it for the half. Louisville was trailing for most of this half, but they came back and stormed into the lead. 21-10. Louisville leads. Let's send it to Kelsey and the crew in the studio.
The 2025 homecoming queen majors in business administration. She is the president of the National Pan-Hellenic Council, and she's also a member of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority. She's a Woodford R. Porter Scholar, sponsored by the National Pan-Hellenic Council. Please welcome your 2025 homecoming queen, Essence Leslie. Congratulations to Essence Ionaji. The 2025 Homecoming Committee would like to thank the homecoming judges, Amanda James, Leon Dravelli, Nikki Strickland, the Office of Student Development staff, Dance and Craft for the beautiful flowers, and all the campus volunteers who have contributed to the success of this year's homecoming festivity.
welcome back to ACC Network College Football presented by Surf Pro. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. And welcome inside L&N Federal Credit Union Stadium as the Louisville Cardinal. The Cardinals winning by 11 points against the Boston College Eagles. Here in the booth with Super Bowl champion Rodney McLeod and UVA Cavalier. I'm George Sedano. Victoria Arlen will join us in just a moment. So Louisville stormed back in that second quarter. What did you make of the quarter?
Yeah, Boston College got off to a fast start, but then Louisville defense, they settled in, and then the Louisville offense was just that overwhelming for the Eagles, and they put their big plays on display.
All right, it's time for our Food Lion Food for Thought. Rod, you mentioned it. The fourth down stop here with about 5 minutes to go was a big point of inflection for Louisville. Then their explosive offense took over.
Exactly. It took over in a number of ways, particularly in the ground game. They're not getting it done on the air, but it doesn't matter. Miller Moss, Isaac Brown, Keywan Brown, they're finding lanes and they're hitting them, and they're making this Eagles defense pay because of it.
Isaac Brown, a monster day thus far. 5 carries, 151 yards, and a touchdown. He had one where he was tripped up, a 73-yard run where he was tripped up at the 1. Miller Moss has 2 rushing touchdowns. And this one booted into the end zone. Louisville will take over at their own 25-yard line. Let's check in with Victoria.
George, I spoke with Coach Brom at the half and asked kind of what was that shift in momentum, and he says, look, I was telling the guys we got to play harder, we got to play tougher, we need to take it one play at a time, and we need to be better at handling the pressure on offense.
You know, the pressure on offense, to your point at the end of that first half, Rod, they were dictating terms with their tempo, and it felt like they went away from that. Or was that Louisville getting them out of that?
It was a combination, but you got to credit the Louisville defense for applying pressure to Grayson James. Finally, it took them a quarter to do so, but they found it. They haven't gotten them down just yet.
Ball is out. Isaac Brown lost it, but they'll say, currently they'll say down. Boston College is saying they've got it. No word yet from the officials. There's still some chatter. They'll say second down. Are they going to look at this?
Okay. The ruling on the field was a fumble and recovered by Boston College. First down.
Okay, so BC ball. They had flipped one of the markers to second down. Yeah, but you see there the ball is out. Omarion Davis.
Ball is out.
Punched it out.
And this has been Isaac Brown, Achilles heel. Last week, fumble. University of Virginia game, fumble. That's not the way you want to start this second half.
Isaac Brown has had such a fantastic day, much like last week. A fantastic day and then a pivotal fumble against Miami. But Boston College.
The ruling on the field of a fumble recovered by Boston College is under further review.
It's under review, as you heard Riley Johnson, our lead official. But there is the turnover margin this year and last year for Boston College a moment ago. We'll take one more look here. I don't see him on the ground. The ball kind of squirted out there on top of, as he was on top of
Omarion Davis.
Yeah.
The ball comes out. It was already loose from Thornton. And the helmet of Davis, I believe, did the rest, and it came rolling out.
And if he's on top of the defender, he's not down.
He's not down. No body part has hit the ground.
Yeah, Isaiah Ferris recovered the fumble. So by the time his body hits the ground, the ball was already out. Let's take another look here. Yeah, ball is juggled there a little bit. He regains control, it looked like, but then
I'm not, are they looking at I don't think the elbow even.
Yeah, I would agree.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down.
Yeah, that's the right call. Isaac Brown with the fumble. And can Boston College capitalize now is the question.
You're the Eagles. This is how you wanted to start this second half. Turnover. You're on the road. You need to find a way to get a turnover. Your defense did that. So you have an opportunity now to get back into this football game.
Redshirt sophomore Ryan McCow in at right tackle due to an injury to their tackle Klein. And the run there by Jordan McDonald gets the first down. Let's check in with Victoria.
I have an update for number 79 right tackle Kevin Klein. He went into the tent at the second. They brought out the portable x-ray for his left ankle. The trainer was trying to have him do calf raises and move around, and he was having issues doing so. So they brought him into the locker room, and he has been officially ruled out for the game.
All right, thank you, Victoria. Unfortunate, certainly for Klein and the Eagles. Experienced right tackle. They fake. They toss. Wide open. Touchdown. Kalen Chudzinski. 80 total yards for Chudzinski today already. 4 receptions.
And that's a tight end leak play. You see him. He gets lost in the traffic. Chudzinski wide open. He just goes down the line of scrimmage, acts as if he's going to block a linebacker, and he wheels up, and nobody is able to find him.
And the Eagles capitalize on the turnover. The extra point is up and good. If you're Bill O'Brien, this could not have played out better for your team.
Great response from your football team. The belief is high, defense gets a turnover, and then you turn right around with a big-time touchdown.
We mentioned Chudzinski in the first half. He's the son of Rob Chudzinski, tight end of the University of Miami. Rob, during the championship years in the dynasty era, was their offensive coordinator in 2001 when they won their last championship. Multiple-time offensive coordinator in the NFL, multiple times over. Currently a senior analyst here. His son, Kalen, who scored that touchdown, was a hockey player up until 2 years ago.
Well, he picked the right sport. He's back-to-back games with touchdowns, and he's made a couple big-time plays today.
Former 3-star player. You know how good you have to be a 3-star only playing 2 years of football? My goodness. And that one through the end zone. Let's go downstairs to Victoria.
Guys, Kalen Chudzinski has always been meant to be a BC Eagle. He has said that his grandfather played there, his uncle did, his grandmother also went there. So BC is a huge part of who he is and who he's always been. So playing here is a dream come true, and it is showing.
No doubt, he got a long lineage. It also helps, look, if you're going to switch sports, that your dad was so successful. We already gave the list of his resume. If you're going to make that switch, that's a good person to learn from.
For sure.
Kewan Brown now in the backfield after the Isaac Brown fumble. Moss under center, play action with time to the sideline, and it's caught by Chris Bell, who fell initially, got back up and able to snag it for the first down.
Chris Bell, he doesn't need much separation at the top of the routes. If you look at him throughout the course of the year, he wins all the time just in close combat. He's strong at the top, nice hands. Even with the fall, the level of concentration there just to get up and catch the football is unbelievable.
A 14-yard gain, his first catch of the night, Chris Bell.
And it's a good time to get him going. Isaac Brown out of this football game right now, probably due to the fumble. Time for Chris Bell to step up.
3rd in the nation in yards per game by average. High snap, they get it to Brown, and Brown hit at the line of scrimmage. Omar Thornton plugged that hole. 2nd down upcoming. No gain on the play.
Thornton is a guy I've seen on film a lot. Just show up in that line of scrimmage. He's a good tackler. I know we missed a big one earlier, but he doesn't miss too many.
This BC defense has been challenged, ravaged due to injuries this season. 5 wide receivers from Moss, back to the air, to the sideline to Lacey, and out of bounds after a modest gain of 5.
I know Lacey's upset at himself. He had one-on-one coverage with the leader, KP Price. There was a lot of space that he gave up. Just did a nice out route on the outside. If Miller Moss gets it to him a little quicker, he's able to turn up the field and possibly pick up a first down. Instead, it's 3rd and 4.
They'll give him 6 on the play. Third and 4 for Moss. And a timeout. Jeff Brom wants to talk things over. We'll step aside. Louisville up 4, but Jeff Brom wants to have a chat.
Introducing SportsCenter for you, personalized every single day. Now available on the ESPN app. Powered by your favorites.
ESPN app. Love the multi-view, especially on a Saturday. Can catch all the college football action. 3rd and 4, big moment here in this one for Louisville. Moss drops back, and that one batted down. Incomplete. Chris Marable. And they force Louisville to punt. Marable able to get that hand up.
Marable just overpowers the guard there, just walking him back and gets his big hand in the way to prevent that first down. Miller Moss had a couple open wide receivers underneath, but good job by Marable.
And Louisville now 1 of 4 on 3rd downs. And this thing is getting interesting as Boston College is hanging around. Charlie Camella back to receive the punt. He'll let it bounce. And downed at the 23-yard line. 31-yard punt, no return. Last drive, let's take a look at that. And a fumble by Isaac Brown created an opportunity for Boston College, recovered there by Isaiah Farris. And then Grayson James found a wide open Kalen Chudzinski for the touchdown. And that's how we arrive at our current score of 21-17. And Boston College with an opportunity here to either inch closer or take the lead.
Boston College did what they need to do. Capitalize on the short field done by your defense.
Handoff to McDonald on the left side. Let's go downstairs to Victoria.
Guys, you talk about that fumble from Isaac Brown. He has not been back in since then, and there's been some pretty roller coaster ride of emotions with him when teammates and coaches were coming over to try to tell him, hey, it's okay, it's okay. He was pushing them away, saying things that weren't appropriate for television, but he's very frustrated.
Thank you for that update, Victoria. Something certainly we'll keep an eye on. And, you know, that happens, Rod. Back-to-back weeks, you have these fumbles in critical junctures of the game. He's still a young player. He's only in his second season.
The past 3 games, George.
Well, that's true. Fair enough. Great point.
Miami, and tonight.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're at pivotal points of a football game. One to try to close it out last week, and it gave Miami life.
And it's a big third down here, 3rd and 3. Grayson James has been mobile today, keeping plays alive, getting first downs with his legs. He pump fakes, keeps the play alive here, throws it, and it's complete to Chudzinski again. Has enough for the first down. A flag on the play. Are they going to say he stepped out of bounds? Because you see the official took his hat off, yeah, and did not reestablish.
Yeah, 2 feet back in play before touching the football.
Yep. There's 2 officials without a hat.
Number 85 went out of bounds. It came back in, was the first to illegally touch the football. That's a loss of down foul at the previous spot. 4th down.
That's a tough one.
Must have been.
There it is.
Yeah, that foot, yep. That right foot just hit out of bounds, didn't reestablish himself. Cardinals get a break.
Seamus Florio to punt it. Colin Lacey to receive. Florio boots this one, a line drive, and bounces out of bounds at the 31-yard line. A tough spot there for young Kalen Chudzinski, who's had such a good game today. 4 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. And listen, this is still a ball game. It's anybody's game right now. How do you view what we've seen? We've talked a lot about Boston College, but what are you seeing from Louisville?
Louisville, they've gotten a lot of their production through the ground game. And we know what they're capable of. They can do it in a multitude of ways, and that's why they still have the lead right now. It seems like Boston College has committed a lot of their focus on how to not allow them to beat us over the top through the pass game.
And number 1, Isaac Brown is back. Gets the handoff. Picks up a couple. About 3.
But that's something to watch for, George. You know, is how does the Eagles defense, you know, start to play Louisville, because they haven't been able to set edges. They haven't been able to stop them much in the run game. So does that now create one-on-one matchups on the outside for them to take advantage of?
You see the numbers there for Isaac Brown and then the rest of the group. So despite the fumbles, you need his big playability. There he is, and there you see it. Picks up the first down as he gets past the 40 to the 42-yard line. A 9-yard gain.
This stretch offense is dangerous. When you don't get penetration, you don't set edges, you allow the runner to pick the lane of choice. And Isaac Brown had multiple there, and he found one and hit it.
Jeff Brom had told us about Isaac Brown. They continue to monitor his workload, and certainly they want him to be as consistent as he can be. Got to fight through these fumbling issues, but you see the talent is undeniable. Moss to the outside, and that one pops out. Kariski. It'll be incomplete. Thornton popped Kariski on that play.
Good coverage. There's Thornton again, just coming up, making a strong tackle that got that football out.
He's been arguably their MVP on defense to this point.
Thornton is a good player. He's versatile, both him and KB Price, but you'll see him at the nickel position, center field. He does a lot for this defense.
Sophomore from South Florida, American Heritage High School. A run up the middle there by Isaac Brown. Picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd and about 6.
And it's a winnable down for the Cardinals. Last time the ball got batted. This time Miller Moss, look for Chris Bell, Colin Lacey. Those are your guys.
Louisville 1 of 4 on 3rd downs tonight. See Chris Bell in motion to the top of your screen. Moss fires incomplete through the hands of Colin Lacey, just a bit over his head. 4th down and Louisville forced to punt.
And Lacey was wide open. Miller Moss, a rare miss.
David Chapeau set to punt. You saw Braun with a brief conversation with his quarterback. Charlie Camella set to receive at his own 10. Chapeau with a rough punt, and that one bounces out of bounds inside the 30 and will give Boston College decent field position as they trail by 4. 8:06 to go here in the 3rd. All Access, the ACC Live premieres Thursday, featuring NC State women's soccer defender Brooklyn Holt, North Carolina volleyball outside hitter Chelsea Thorpe, and SMU men's soccer goalkeeper Martin Dominguez. You'll get unprecedented access into their lives as student athletes, with coaches, staff, parents, and fans as well. 10 Eastern right here on the ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app. ACC Network in general, you want to talk about some of the best docu-series there are in college athletics. This is the place for that, no question. Big drive here for Boston College. Their first 4 drives, they had time of possession of over 23 minutes. Their last 4 under 3 minutes. See if they can control the clock again on the jet sweep to Bond. And wrapped up. Wait, the ball pops out. Louisville's going the other way. It's Antonio Watt. He's in the end zone. They'll call it a touchdown. A 28-yard return. The officials huddling up, but let's take a look at what went down there.
It's a jet sweep by Bond.
Ball is out.
And somebody rips it away. I couldn't even tell. Antonio Watts is the beneficiary of the play. Picks it up and scores.
The officials
are on the field as the runner was down before the fumble.
Okay.
It's second down.
So let's take one more look at that.
That had to be a quick whistle.
The ruling on the field of the runner being down is under further review.
Let's see if we can hear the whistle on the Bond tackle. Oh, the ball's out well before the whistle. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I said. And that had to be a quick whistle. He was still up.
Caleb Perry.
I mean, the strip was quick.
Caleb Perry knocked it out. And, yeah, I'm with you 100%. That's a fumble. And let's see what Riley Johnson tells us. Is he still under the hood? Yeah, I don't think this should take very long, to be honest with you. Yeah, ball pops out well before he hits the ground. And the crowd here is taking a look at it on the Jumbotron. And you hear the cheers. Antonio Watts, I mean, you want to talk about a season for him. He's had a number of turnovers that he's been the beneficiary of this season. Here's one more look. Yeah, that's out.
Did he strip it as well?
No, it looked like Perry, I thought.
I can't. I need that other angle, George, because it looked like Watts got in there to rip it away.
After further review, the ruling on the field was the ball was fumbled and immediately covered at the 27-yard line by Louisville. First down, Louisville.
So no touchdown. Touchdown goes off the board. Crowd not happy.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking if you're Watts. It's hard to get in the end zone as a defensive player.
No doubt. And Watts, his first 30 games of his career, 0 INTs. He's had 3 in his last 4 games, and now what would have been a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
He's hot right now.
Yeah.
Let's call it. He's hot.
And so's the crowd.
Yeah.
Miller Moss and company take the field. Isaac Brown is out there. Colin Lacey in the backfield with him. Moss flares it out to Lacey. Lacey darts towards the sideline. TJ Green forced him out. Crowd still not happy. I guess I understand why they're not happy, though.
you wipe a touchdown off the board.
In a close game.
In a close game. Nothing is free here. And honestly, they earned that, in my opinion. Strip, touchdown, that needs to sting.
I'm with you. 2nd and 5. Moss, pressure coming. Lofts one, end zone. Touchdown. Colin Lacey. A 22-yard strike. And the crowd now a little happier.
It's hard to play these receivers in man-to-man coverage, and Colin Lacey beats the man-to-man just over the top, beating them with just pure speed and an excellent catch to finish. That's not easy, ladies and gentlemen.
Colin Lacey, his first touchdown of the season. Extra point is up and good. So Louisville takes advantage of the turnover. So Antonio Watts may not have been happy about not scoring a touchdown, but he's got to be happy his team is up 11. Jeff Brom arguing here despite having an 11-point lead because of the fumble on Louis Bond. Antonio Watts had recovered. Let's listen for the whistle here. So you hear the whistle there late. Riley Johnson, the lead official, then went under the hood, and he told us that it was a fumble. Ball was down, though, at the 27-yard line, and he didn't explain this at the time, but it's because of the whistle. That's the reason, if you're wondering at home, why Louisville ended up having to take the ball from the 27-yard line. They do eventually score on the Lacey touchdown pass from Miller Moss, but that's the reason that drive had to start for Louisville at the 27-yard line, because the whistle blew. But Brom still was heated about it.
Oh, yeah. I would be, too. And if you're Rob English, selfishly as a defensive coordinator, you wiped away a touchdown on our side of the ball.
Yeah. And by the way, for Louisville, that's their third TD on a drive of 3 or fewer plays tonight. That one, 2 plays. Grayson James and company looking to respond. McDonald, not much there, picks up 2. Caleb Perry on the tackle, 2nd and 8 upcoming.
But that's the answer that I was talking about earlier, George, with this Cardinals defense. When your team needs a play this year, they've answered the bell with the big play of their own.
James drops back over the middle, incomplete. TJ Quinn in the right spot. Pass intended for Jeremiah Franklin. 3rd and 8 now for the Eagles.
Yeah, their defensive stars are starting to heat up. TJ Quinn getting involved on that play to set up this 3rd and 8. I expect them to line up in a pressure look. They're either coming or they're backing out into coverage.
BC started this game 5 of 6 on 3rd downs, 1 of 5 since, 6 of 11 overall. James on the low snap, picks it up, has time, now flushed out of the pocket, dumps it down, and his man Jeremiah Franklin stopped short of the line of gain by TJ Quinn.
And there he is again. Really strong tackle by TJ Quinn. He starts up in the line of scrimmage. He backs out, pedals, reads the eyes of the quarterback, goes and tracks Jeremiah Franklin near foot, near shoulder, 4th down.
The late pressure there by A.J. Green, the 4th 3 and out for BC today. Florio to punt it. He almost got to that one. Lacey, the Louisville player pushed a BC defender into Lacey. He didn't touch him though, and the ball takes a BC bounce and more extracurricular activity as the Louisville players are pushing the BC players to try to get them to touch the ball. The fans here don't love it, but I don't think they have much of a leg to stand on that one. Jaleel Skinner, by the way, almost got to that punt moments ago.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team number 15. 15-yard penalty will be added on to the end of the play. 1st down.
Antonio Meeks. So 15 yards will be tacked on. Here's the so we see here the scuffle. I don't think they called the right number there because Meeks, as you see, is on the receiving end there.
Yeah.
The penalty is on Boston College. And a run there by Kewan Brown.
Yeah, if you're the Eagles defense right now, you want to stay in this game, you got to minimize the explosive play.
Second and 6 upcoming. And nice play there. Spinning out of trouble is Chris Bell to midfield.
And that is the difficulty that Chris Bell presents. You come up and you try to make a tackle on a strong runner like Chris Bell. He has a profile of a running back. 6'2", 220 frame. He's not easy to bring down.
First down. Kewan Brown. He picks up about 3 yards. And a man down.
Injury to a defensive player.
You see the young man keeled over for Boston College. We still can't identify who it is just yet. It looks to be Quintavious Hutchins, the 5th-year senior out of Alabama. gets to his feet and needs some help getting off the field.
Hopefully he's all right. You know, one of their better pass rushers up front.
Has 2 sacks this year, 3 tackles for loss. Could have been friendly fire. Yeah, right there by Cedarius McConnell. So 2nd and 7 now for Moss.
There's Boston College showing a little pressure of their own.
Moss to the outside. Chris Bell will be about 1.5 yards, 2 yards, let's call it, shy of the first down. Amarion Davis was able to wrap him up. 3rd and 2. And if you're BC, this is a big down.
Huge, huge down. And what it's going to force you to do is play tight coverage. It's 3rd and 2. You have to prepare for the run. And so it's going to require you to play man-to-man.
See them crowding the line of scrimmage. Moss keeps, fires, connects to Bell. Inside the 30, a first down. And no better target to feed it to if you need a first down than 0.
Go to your guy. Go to your guy that you have a good relationship with, that you trust, that you know is going to be a for sure catcher.
High snap, they hand it off. Back to the ground is Kewan Brown. Picks up 4. Make it 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
The Cardinals doing a good job at controlling the clock themselves now. Taking a page out of Boston College book in that first quarter.
Yeah, the time of possession was heavily skewed early on to Boston College. Over 23 minutes in the first half. Moss, clean pocket, delivers, intercepted! KP Price headed the other direction and out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Chris Bell was the target. Price read it the whole way.
KP Price, playmaker for this Boston College defense. Watch him backpedal, read the eyes of Miller Moss, and make a big-time play when your team needs it. This is a guy that, man, he plays will linebacker, safety, Mike linebacker. It don't matter. He says, I got you, coach.
Looks like the ball may have been tipped, perhaps at the line of scrimmage. Grayson James and company take over. James with time, nobody open though. He's going to tuck it and run, and out of bounds after a short gain. Let's take a look at the interception one more time. Yep, there it is. That was Chris Marable again, yep. Second time. And KP Price, the beneficiary. So Boston College still in this one, but their offense needs to get going. 2nd and 9. And this one batted in the air and picked off. Jordan Garrod.
Rolling on the field is an interception by Louisville. First down.
Clev Lubin got his hand up. Garrod came up with it.
These defensive linemen are getting involved in the game. Lubin says, you know what? I can break up a pass too. And a big play by Garrod. Man, I love when defensive linemen get interceptions. They pray for those moments.
11th interception for Louisville this season. 5 in the last 2 games. They had the 4 at Miami. Back-to-back tips. You don't see that every day. This has been a fun game. Brown burst through the hole. Flag trails the play. Has enough for the first down. KP Price tripped him up.
Holding. Offense number 85. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Nate Kariski, the redshirt junior, the starting tight end. And Brown limping a little bit. Yeah, there's 85. In the middle of your screen.
Yeah, right arm tugs.
Edwin Colin. The defensive end that was held. And Brown back on the sideline. We've been talking about trying to manage his snap count, especially without Duke Watson. And they are thunder and lightning, those two. And Kewan Brown, they rotate the 3 of them with Watson's injury. And we have movement up front. With Watson's injury, they're down to 2 backs.
False start. Offense, number 88. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Jaleel Skinner, the redshirt junior. Been here a couple of years, originally transferred from Miami. Yeah, that's an easy call. Now 1st and 25.
You're not where you want to be as an offense, but as a defense, you have to take advantage of their costly mistakes.
2 penalties on this drive for Louisville. They had 2 in the previously to that. Moss lets it rip. Too high for his intended target, Chris Bell. Carter Davis in coverage. The crowd wanted a flag there, but that ball was not catchable.
Yeah, no, not at all. And that was a dangerous throw by Miller Moss. There's a lot of Eagles in the area. Think about 4, if I counted correctly.
Second down and 25. Got to get close to half of it back if you're Louisville. BC, they rush 3. They toss it on a screen to Lacey, but not much there. 2-yard gain. TJ Green wrapped him up quickly. 3rd down and 23.
Yeah, the young freshman getting some burn. TJ Green, big tackle. Colin Lacey is not easy to bring down in open space. And here you are, 3rd and forever. You got to do the same thing again. You're going to have to come up and make an open tackle.
Louisville 2 of 6 on 3rd downs. Moss over the middle, complete, but well shy of the marker is Nate Kariski. They're still even about 4 yards short of the original line of scrimmage. Omar Thornton again making a play. And that'll do it for the 3rd quarter. 4th down and 14.
That is the end of the 3rd quarter. Timeout.
Inside the 40. But Boston College still within striking distance. Louisville trying to put them away here in the 4th. Louisville up 11. They're attempting a field goal here, but Victoria moments ago caught up with Jeff Brom.
All right, Coach, you seem a bit visibly frustrated. Can you tell me what's going through your head right now?
Well, we got to execute better. We have too many penalties on offense. We're stopping ourselves. We're turning the ball over. We got to settle down, play more efficient, and get some drives going.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, they're going to punt it instead of attempt the field goal. David Chapeau will punt it and down to near the 5-yard line. So they fake a long field goal attempt, and they get a 33-yard punt and flip field position.
Big. Special teams matters for the Cardinals. They talked about it this week. They spend a lot of time in practice. I know coaches who only spend 5 minutes. Jeff Brom, he's one of those coaches that believes 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it takes, because all 3 phases are important in winning football games.
So Ranvier was out there to kick a field goal, but then Chapeau, the holder, who is also the punter, ended up punting it. So now Grayson James in the shadows of his end zone, and the crowd getting loud.
And as a defense, you got to pin them back here.
Low snap, they hand it off. McDonald up the middle, gets some breathing room to the 9. 4-yard gain.
Don't let them off the hook if you're the Cardinals defense. Keep them right here. That's what they're talking about right now, because the probability goes up that the Eagles will score with every first down that they gain on this drive.
And if you're Boston College, you probably want to run the ball with either James or McDonald, 2 big bodies. McDonald again. And he gets to the 11, a gain of 2. It's 3rd and manageable now at 3rd and 4. On 3rd downs, again, 5 of 6 they started, and 1 of 6 since. Yeah, that actually should be 1 of 7.
Yeah, this is a manageable down for the Eagles. If I'm there, I'm thinking of moving the pocket to get Grayson James on the move to find a receiver into the flat.
Alex Broom in the backfield. Louisville bringing the heat. They pick it up. James to the air, throws it complete. And it's going to be close. I think he might be short of the marker.
He does look short, George.
Dawson Pugh, did he drop it? No. They're saying it's a completion, but short. And that's a freshman mistake right there, not getting beyond the yard marker.
Correct. Not running to the depth of the sticks, coming up just shy because he's open.
Oh, he did drop it.
He did drop it.
He did drop it. So they got lucky there, but now they decided to take a look.
The previous play of a completed catch is under further review.
It's been a wild game.
Yeah, just look up here. I'll tell you.
All right. 11-point lead. They will review this one, but it should be an easy call, as you see right here. Ball hits the ground. We'll be back in a moment. You're watching ACC Network College Football presented by Serve Pro. Louisville with an 11-point lead. That last play, the pass to Dawson Pugh from Grayson James, reviewed, originally called a catch and short of the line to gain. You see there, incomplete, so the call overturned. And BC forced a punt out of their own end zone with Seamus Floria. Colin Lacey to receive. They sky this one. Lacey will field it, tries to return it. Well, they say it was a fair catch. Own man ran into him. So either way, Louisville will start near midfield. Coming up next, the ACC Huddle Final Score crew will have complete wrap-up of our game and the whole day with highlights, analysis, interviews with players and coaches. They'll get you covered right here on the ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app. So stick around for Kelsey and the crew. The officials tonight have been busy, that's for sure. Isaac Brown back in there on the right hip of Moss. He gets the carry, pushes forward, picks up about 4. You might be wondering how we got here. Well, BC had a 10-7 lead. Louisville stopped them on a 4th down play in Louisville territory, and then quick strikes after that have given them the lead, and they haven't looked back since. They also recovered a fumble and able to capitalize on a touchdown to Colin Lacey as well. Moss, pressure coming, hit as he throws, lofts it up. It's incomplete, intended for Trayshawn Hurry. Isaiah Ferris in coverage.
Amazing play by Ferris and not getting there early and just finishing all the way to the end of the play.
Ferris on the sideline now. Makai Byerson.
Holding. Offense number 70. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
That was on Trevante Sylvester. So the pressure earlier was on Byerson. So there's a hold, and we're coming back. Moss takes that hit by Byerson. You saw the hold on Sylvester. Sylvester had a great game last week at Miami. Tough call there. Brown weaving through traffic, burst through the hole, and tripped up at the 40-yard line. KP Price saved an even bigger explosive moment there by Isaac Brown.
And this Eagles defense, you have to make the tackle when you have the chance to wrap up Isaac Brown. And you can't allow him to get started downhill. When he sees a hole and it's there, the speed is just too much.
11 carries, 191 yards for Brown. It's 3rd and 5 now after that carry. Moss, pressure coming, ball is out. BC scoops it up. They've got it. He was hit and the ball popped up. And it's BC ball.
The rolling over the field is a fumble by Louisville, caught by Boston College. 1st down.
The forced fumble was by TJ Green on the blitz, and the recovery by KP Price.
The Eagles defense is getting aggressive. They have nothing to lose. They need to make a play. TJ Green off the edge, strip sack, young man. What a play.
Man, I'm throwing beanbags.
ACC Primetime Football is presented by Serve Pro, the #1 choice in cleanup and restoration.
Welcome back to Louisville. It's an 11-point game, but this thing has been insane the last few minutes. Tons of turnovers. Let's take a look at the last one. TJ Green on the blitz. Hits Miller Moss. Ball is out. Fumble recovery by KP Price. That is a huge momentum shift as Louisville could have sealed the game potentially.
Yeah, missed opportunity from Louisville, but way to rise to the occasion by the Eagles defense. You have your freshman, TJ Green, coming off the edge, and then you have the captain of your defense, KP Price, that recovers the fumble. Just had an interception. Countless tackles today. That's what it takes.
TJ Green, when he came in for his freshman visit, Tim Lewis, the defensive coordinator, was visiting a ton of kids. He wants to be a nurse. Tim Lewis's wife is a nurse. Tim Lewis's wife was there that day, sold him on coming to BC. Shout out to the DC's wife, Tim Lewis's wife, getting TJ Green to commit, and he makes a big play. Grayson James takes over. Steps up and wrapped up. Taken down by Wesley Bailey.
The play took too long to develop. They were trying to take a shot, and Wes Bailey and the defensive line, they just kept rushing. Relentless effort was the result of that sack.
That's Bailey's third sack of the season. 2nd and 15 now. James throws too high and is picked off. Caleb Perry has a convoy for a moment and then tackled out of bounds by Reed Harris. Another turnover in this game.
This is back and forth, man. This is a boxing match here. They're exchanging blows, and these defenses are playing. I'm a defensive guy, so I'm loving this right now. Just an errant throw by Grayson James goes off the head of Reed Harris, and Perry is there to set up his team for another turnover.
Unbelievable the way this game has unfolded. I mean, it has been, the defense is stepping up. On the last 8 combined drives, we've had 5 turnovers.
Insane.
And a run here by Kewan Brown. Picks up about 3.5. We'll call it 4. But if you're just tuning in and you've been watching this, I don't know if you enjoy it at home watching all these turnovers. I love it because I just think the defenses are making extraordinary plays.
Absolutely. Timely plays. I mean, interceptions that are done with technique. You got strip sacks going on. Every part of the game we're seeing.
2nd and 6. Kewan Brown in the backfield. Remember, Isaac Brown on the Moss fumble was favoring his lower body. Moss with plenty of time, nobody open. Now he's dancing, still buying time, being chased around and taken down from behind. Does pick up positive yardage to the 25-yard line. And Sedarius McConnell finally brought him down.
A lot of time given to Miller Moss. You know, this BC defensive line has been hard for them to find ways to pressure the quarterback with just a 4-man rush, which is why he has so much time. But credit to the back end of the Eagles defense, because I've lived that world. When a quarterback's scrambling, it's very hard to cover these receivers.
3rd and 5. Colin Lacey in the backfield, but Louisville
30-second timeout.
is calling timeout.
Louisville, 2nd of the half.
So Isaac Brown, we mentioned, was going to come, was out because He was favoring what seemed to be his leg or lower body after the Moss fumble. He did run back in right before that play, and then the coaches called him back. So he seems to be okay to play. But Colin Lacey was in the backfield, and we've seen him certainly line up everywhere. But what kind of conversations are you having as you see Isaac Brown's numbers tonight? He's been electric outside of a fumble. And what is the conversation like if you're Jeff Brom right now as you're trying to put this thing away?
Right now, I'm going to look for this to be 4-down territory for me. 3rd and 5 right now. You don't have to necessarily throw the football. You can lean on your run game that's been getting positive yards all day versus an Eagles defense that struggled to set the edge and the struggle in the trenches. So, again, it doesn't have to be in Miller Moss' hands to throw the ball. We can also see them pick it up through the ground.
And Isaac Brown is now in the backfield on 3rd and 5. You need to get to the 20. Brown takes it and picks up 2. Chris Marable, who had 2 big deflections earlier, took down Brown. 4th down, and you said 4-down territory. They are bringing out the kicking team. It looks to be Cooper Ranvier, the kicker.
Playing smart football. That's what Jeff Brom is doing right now, because your quarterback, things have been happening. Things that haven't worked in your favor. Interception, strip sack. Let me make the decision for you.
It would be a 2-score game still if he converts on this 41-yard attempt. He missed from 52 early. The kick is up and good. 14-point lead, 8:13 to go. Time is running out if you're Boston College. Women's sports takes over the afternoon every Sunday on ACC Network, and this week, the evening too. We start at noon Eastern with volleyball. Number 5 Stanford squaring off against Georgia Tech. Then at 7 Eastern, NC State hosting number 7 Duke in soccer, both available on the all-new ESPN app as the ACC dominant in women's soccer and volleyball. We kick here. A squib kick picked up by Boston College. Alex Broom gets past the 30-yard line. BC's last 6 drives, 3 and out, fumble, 3 and out, interception, 3 and out, and interception. But, Rod, the interesting part about this is Bill O'Brien's team has been fighting, man. They have been ravaged with injuries this season, particularly on the defensive end. And even tonight, they lost Isaiah Farris earlier. They've lost a number of different guys, including Quintavious Hutchins, one of their pass rushers, and their starting right tackle, Kevin Klein, but yet still fighting.
Devastated with injuries, but no quit in this team. And that's credit to Bill O'Brien and the leaders.
An inside handoff. McDonald about 2 yards shy of the marker. Let's go downstairs to Victoria with an update.
You talk about Quintavious Hutchins, number 15 for BC. He went into the tent. He was talking with trainers, visibly grabbing his head. They were putting him through an eye test, and then he covered his eyes and was walking back into the locker room, George.
All right, Victoria, thank you. Pass complete at midfield to Reed Harris. First down. Marked now at the 48-yard line of Louisville. A big moment and a big drive. And you see James kind of limping a little bit there. 2-score game. James incomplete. That one intended for Jeremiah Franklin, the senior tight end.
He's got to be careful. You got to try to move those linebackers. You can't stare down your wide receivers, especially with these sort of linebackers. When they see something, they go.
Grayson James grimacing a moment ago. 2nd and 10. James started pretty hot in this one. 14 of 17, 4 of 17 since. James with time, fires too high. Intended for Reed Harris again. And Harris is a big target at 6'5". Jabari Mack, in coverage. 3rd down and 10 upcoming.
It's a big down for the Eagles. I don't know if I would imagine the Cardinal defense will elect to send pressure. His offensive line hasn't given up much sacks today, but Grayson James has felt the pressure in this second half in particular.
They're 6 of 13 on 3rd down. Pressure surrounding James, flushed out, throws off his back foot, and sails this one, and that one is almost intercepted by D'Angelo Hutchinson. Pressure by A.J. Green on James, and they're now 6 of 14 on 3rd down.
And they did exactly what I said. They brought the pressure. They weren't going to let Grayson James just stand back there with time. And Hutchinson, you got to come down with that one.
Well, they're going for it here on 4th down because this is the game. 4th and 10. Time is not their friend, so they got to hit the gas here.
Eagles need to max protect.
Louisville brings the heat. James steps up, complete to Jeremiah Franklin to the 35-yard line for a 1st down. 13-yard gain.
Woo. James stood in there strong, stepped up and threaded the needle. Big time play.
On the roll, James, complete to Harris. And Harris picks up another 1st down to the 21-yard line. A 14-yard gain. And BC in business.
And James is limping. It doesn't matter, though. Got a lot of spirit, got a lot of fight. He's going to keep battling.
James, pressure coming, throws, finds his man for a touchdown. It's Jeremiah Franklin, throws a dart down the seam, a 21-yard score. It's a 1-score game. 3rd TD pass for James.
You can't say enough about this team. There's no quit. We said it at the top of the drive, and it's shown itself. Grayson James, 4th down, big throw to Jeremiah Franklin. Right here, big throw to Franklin.
Lombardo for the extra point. Low snap. The kick is up and good. The holder there saved that one. Ben Mann. And we have a 1-score game with plenty of time.
And Boston College coming into this, I said it earlier, stay in the game and win it in the 4th quarter. That is their philosophy, and they've done everything to put themselves in this position. Turnovers, getting off to a fast start, battling back, and now you sit here, 1-possession game.
Early in this game, in the first half, their recipe for success, Boston College, was ball control. They possessed it for over 23 minutes in the first half. You saw there on that graphic a few moments ago, that drive, and look, they need to because it's what the game dictates.
Yeah.
1 minute and 48. They've been able to do it in a lot of different ways in this game and finding a way to somehow stay in it. And Louisville, of course, after that big win against Miami, Jeff Brom told us that they've done everything they can this week to avoid the letdown factor.
And we're going to see what they're made of right now. You got to close out this football game. You're at home.
Here's Grayson James and what he's been able to accomplish today.
Grayson James doing a lot outside of the pocket. This is what makes him dangerous as a quarterback, his ability to be mobile. He's a smart quarterback, and so he's found the right guy tonight. And there he is, capping it off with an amazing drive to keep his team in the game.
I mentioned earlier BC with nearly 24 minutes in the first half, time of possession, only 9:14 in the second half. Louisville has flipped the script on them. Can they do it to close it out here? Moss to the sideline, wide of the mark, intended for Chris Bell. Max Tucker in coverage. This drive, to your point, Rod, is huge. Can they close them out here, or are they going to breathe life into a Boston College team that's a wounded animal coming into this one, but clearly not ready to call it quits?
Yeah, this is the making of a great team. You want to be that, you got to show it in these moments. Stay composed, close it out, and do what you need to do to come out here with a win.
And here's Isaac Brown picking up about 6 on that play. It'll be 3rd down and short coming up. 3rd and 4. Isaac Brown checking out. Again, he was grabbing his leg earlier, but he's had a monster game tonight. 199 yards. Kewan Brown now checks in for Louisville.
Yeah, and look for Kewan Brown possibly to get out early in a free release situation.
Moss flips it complete, but short of the sticks to Colin Lacey. What a tackle there by the true freshman from San Diego, T.J. Green.
T.J. Green is coming up big, and this is just hustle, man. This is, I wanted more.
4th and 1. Decision time for Jeff Brom, or is it?
No, the right thing to do is to punt the football.
The crowd that's left here, and plenty of people thought this game was over because the crowd dispersed. The crowd that's left, not thrilled, but I'm with you. This is the right decision. Put it on your defense's shoulders here.
And don't give them a short field.
They've had punting issues, though, today. They shanked 2 of them. And this one not great either, although it gets a good bounce for them. And that one down to the 26-yard line approximately. So, Rod, 4:44 to go. It's a 1-score game. Grayson James is limping on the field, but with a chance to tie or maybe even win the game.
He has a chance of a lifetime right now to be able to put his team tied up right now is big. Limping, wounded, doesn't matter. But if I'm this defense, I'm going to attack him right now. A wounded quarterback means limited mobility.
And he's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Pressure coming backside. He throws and complete to the 32-yard line to who else but Louis Bond, the captain of the offense, the veteran leader, the mentor of the receiving group. 2nd and 5. Louisville showing pressure. Here they come. He gets it out quick. James does, complete to Harris for a first down. Reed Harris, his roommate. You always know where your roommate is, Rod.
you do, and they have a really good relationship. And that was just a nice out route on the outside there by Reed Harris to keep his drive alive.
To the 42-yard line. Pugh in motion. Handoff to McDonald. The big back pushes for a couple. A.J. Green wrapped him up, only a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 upcoming. Alex Broom now checking in the backfield. You see him to the right of Grayson James.
And a fresh group for the defensive line of the Cardinals.
And you see them crowding the line of scrimmage. James with time. Now the pressure comes, backpedaling. Wisely throws it out of bounds. I mean, it's 2-down territory anyway, so you live to fight another down.
Yeah, no need to force anything. Let's get back in the huddle. Let's call the right play.
They're 6 of 14 on 3rd downs. What is that right play?
The right play right now, your tight ends have come alive. Jeremiah Franklin, he's got the high hand. Louis Bond has shown up countless times, looking to work the inside part of this field.
Franklin, 5 catches, 55 yards. Chudzinski, the other tight end, the freshman, 4 catches, 80 yards. 3rd and 8. James, pressure coming, throws. It's to Chudzinski, but incomplete. 4th and 8, Antonio Watts in coverage.
Really good coverage by Watts, forcing a tough throw by James.
And with 3 timeouts left, Bill O'Brien is punting.
He believes in his defense. They showed up today.
Florio boots it, skies this one. And it's taking a BC bounce inside the 20, down to about the 16-yard line. A 39-yard punt, no return. Coming up next, the ACC Huddle Final Score crew will have a complete wrap-up of our game and the whole day. Highlights, analysis, interviews with players, coaches. We've got you covered right here on the ACC Network and the all-new ESPN app. Kelsey Riggs Cup and the crew. Seven-point ball game. Louisville trying to close this thing out. 3 timeouts for BC. We've had a bevy of turnovers. 5 on 8 drives in the first 8 drives of the second half. And here's a run to the right side by Kewan Brown. Picks up a couple, 3-yard gain. Omar Thornton with the backfield penetration allowed the defense to recover.
A really good job by Thornton by just stopping the runner's feet, allowing the cavalry to come in and make that tackle.
Please reset the game clock to 2:52. Thank you.
And you hear Riley Johnson, our lead official. Boston College took their first timeout. They have 2 left. And don't forget, they also have the 2-minute timeout, potentially, if they can get a stop here.
Yeah, and that's why I like the call by O'Brien to punt the football. Your defense has shown you today that they're capable of getting stops. And not only stops, but turnovers. Miller Moss, he's been out of rhythm a little bit. Making inaccurate throws and turnovers, and so you like those odds right now.
Miller Moss, 14 of 26, 169 yards, and on the ground has the 2 touchdowns, has 1 through the air. Isaac Brown behind Moss in the pistol formation. They give it to Brown, and why not? As he gets over the 200-yard mark to the 25-yard line. Sedarius McConnell and Faber Bate wrapped him up. Another timeout.
Timeout, Boston College. 30 seconds, second charge to this half.
They have one left. So this is it here. 3rd and 2. What kind of defense would you like to see by Boston College?
You got to load the box. I'm going all in on the run. Be ready as a back-end defender to fight through picks if they choose to throw the football.
I was just going to ask you that. Would you throw if you were Louisville? Put yourself on the other side.
The only way I'm throwing is if I get on the edge. And that what I mean by that is possible sprint out situation.
So like a quick little dump off.
Quick throw on the outside. Maybe you put Chris Bell in the slot. You run a rub route to the outside, and you allow Miller Moss to make the right decision. If Chris Bell is open, you find him. If not, you take it and you run.
Isaac Brown, 205 yards, a career high. First Louisville back with 200-plus yards since Malik Cunningham, who was a quarterback, had 224 versus Duke back in 2021. Moss pulls, throws, wide open Skinner, the tight end for a first down. They sold out, they sucked him in, and Moss made a pay.
Play fake work, George. And unfortunately, the cornerback on that play, he doesn't track Skinner. And there allows him to have just a couple yards ahead of him for Miller Moss to make that completion.
Timeout, Boston College, 30 seconds. That's their 3rd and final timeout of this half.
That was an aggressive play call. One that said, look, we're closing this out, and we're here to win.
And you shouldn't be surprised because it's Jeff Brom. I mean, we've talked about how he was incredibly aggressive last week at Miami to beat the then #2 Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah.
So if anyone's going to be aggressive, it's this guy.
Conservative will not win you games.
And Jeff Brom, again, they harped on the fact that to these players, don't let yourself have a letdown after that big win. Now, it's funny because he said to us, we've harped on it plenty, but we also don't want to harp on it too much.
Yes.
Right? And it was a delicate balance, but his team looking like they can survive here. And Skinner, by the way, an unlikely target. That was his first catch of the game.
He came at the right time.
Back to the ground. And wrapped up is Isaac Brown. But a flag on the play. That'll stop the clock. Another one rolls in. And you see Brown heading to the sideline. There's a player down. It looks to be Sedarius McConnell.
Offense, number 0. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Chris Bell. That's like a timeout for Boston College because you still have the 2-minute timeout.
That's what I was going to say. You know, they still have the 2-minute on their side right now. And with that penalty, that helps the Eagles.
What a turn of events. If you've been watching this one at home, you have been thoroughly entertained.
Yeah, from start to finish.
Because there's just been action the entire time.
Yes.
Whether it's the defense making plays and forcing turnovers, whether it's the offense and explosive plays.
Yes.
You know,
we had an injury on the play. Please set the play clock to 40 seconds. Thank you.
We've had 6 total turnovers in this game, Rod. 3 on each side. This has been a well-fought game because you can make the case, oh, turnovers are sloppy play. I don't know if that's been sloppy play. I think it's just been excellent defense, as we referred to earlier.
Yeah. Really good play defensively today on both sides of the football.
Hand it off. Keywan Brown with the run, and this one should get us to the 2-minute timeout. So we will have the conclusion for you. 2-minute timeout. Louisville up 7. All right, welcome back here. 2-minute timeout. It is 2nd and 20 upcoming. Here's the holding play.
Yeah,
and you see Chris Bell, yeah.
And slams him.
On number 2.
Yeah.
So that set them back. It basically acted as a free timeout for Boston College. They hand it off again to Keywan Brown. Huge hole up the middle, and that'll do it. Touchdown! "66 yards, the backbreaker by Keywan Brown."
Said you need to close it out. Put it on the hands of your offensive line. Everybody in the building know the run is coming. It doesn't matter. Keywan Brown, touchdown.
You want to know the fascinating part about that play? Chris Bell, who held a moment ago when we showed that, had the block to free him up there for the touchdown.
And that says a lot about Chris Bell. Hasn't done much in the pass game today like we anticipated, but a willing blocker. What are you willing to do in order for your team to win? For the man next to you to have success. And Chris Bell is showing that. Blocking through the whistle right after he got a penalty. It doesn't matter. I know what I need to do in order to help my team.
That's the 3rd rushing touchdown tonight for Louisville of over 60 yards. This offense,
in a hurry.
Whew, man, they are never out of it.
And how many yards on the ground today?
Total rushing yards, 319. I'm glad you asked.
319.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, they can close it out, or if they're even behind, I feel like they're never really behind.
Yeah.
Because of their explosive nature on offense. A season high, 319 yards. They average 115.7 per game. And I'm sure, and you know this as well as anyone because you played 13 years in the NFL, you won a Super Bowl. Jeff Brom gets the best of both worlds here because he comes out with the victory, but he's got a lot to go with in the film room.
A ton after you had a big win like Miami. You come back out here, not your best performance all around. And so there's a lot to build from this game. You're happy, you applaud the win, but look, we got a lot of room to grow still, fellas, with a lot to play for as well.
Right. I mean, they are in the thick of this thing in the ACC. They are in the thick of it for the CFP, and James wrapped up in the backfield. James already limping earlier. Wesley Bailey with the sack, along with Jordan Garrod.
Rolling on the field is forward progress, second down.
Grayson James, you got a feel for him, man. He has taken a pummeling today.
You can't say enough about him. Just a warrior.
And that went incomplete, a flag on the play as Reed Harris got hit. Multiple flags fly. And you got to be careful here because if this is targeting, Louisville's player could potentially be out for the first half in their next game.
Personal foul, targeting, defense number 27. That plays under further review.
And that's JoJo Evans, the fifth-year senior, transfer from FIU. Again, targeting, helmet-to-helmet contact with the 6-inch radius around the crown of the helmet. And that looks like targeting to me.
Yeah, trying to just dislodge the football from Reed Harris, and he catches the helmet before, unfortunately, his shoulder pass hit him. Tough play. You know, quarterback tries to thread the needle in cover 2. You try to get over the top to just erase him from making a big play.
And Riley Johnson taking a look. Thankfully, Reed Harris is okay as well.
Yeah.
And we'll see the ruling.
And I don't think the intent was there to lead with the helmet.
Oh, no.
Just tough positioning for Evans there.
Yeah, you nailed it. He was trying to dislodge the ball. There's no question.
And he even tries to turn to the side a little bit when you look at it.
Yeah. By the way, Reed Harris hauled it in, and JoJo Evans did dislodge the ball. Unfortunately for him, they made helmet-to-helmet contact there. But to your point, him turning to the side may help his cause.
After further review, there is no foul for targeting. It's an incomplete pass. Third down.
And there it is. You nailed it, Rod. Him turning to the side changed everything.
Yeah. It's a different position to be in. But the intent, you can tell in which he was aiming to do. You know those level of hits where, you know, guys are coming in recklessly and just leading with the helmet to do more damage than was needed.
And that was we've seen a number of targeting calls today. The second one today on JoJo Evans that they reviewed. Yes. So Evans still in the game and good for next week too. James fires, Incomplete. D'Angelo Hutchinson stretched out for that one. Lewis Bond, the intended target, will be 4th down.
Hutchinson, he's got 2 drops today.
Yeah.
You got to catch one of those.
Let's get back to Louisville, though. We mentioned everything is still in front of them. The chase for the ACC and getting to Charlotte for the championship game, and of course the CFP. They've got the big win against Miami. If they keep winning, they can write their own ticket.
And they earned that. They earned that by going in last week and taking that win.
Incomplete there.
And bouncing back from it and showing up today in their home turf. And getting ready to walk out of here with a win.
Yep, that'll do it. They will go into victory formation in a moment. Here's their remaining schedule, and ESPN's analytics assigned a percentage in each individual game as for their chances to win that individual game. As you see, based on ESPN analytics, the only game that ESPN analytics expects them to potentially lose is SMU. The other ones, they seem to be somewhat overwhelming favorites. Maybe Clemson, I guess 62%, but that's still pretty good.
I don't even get into the analytics game. You got to show up. You got to show up every week, and you better play ball. You got to do what you need to do throughout the week. Prepare well, practice well, and come out and get ready to execute and play with a lot of intensity and attitude, because that's what it's going to take for you to come out and have a chance at the end of this year.
And, well, to your point, as we see victory formation here, we see so much parity in college football right now.
Yes.
Teams are getting knocked off all the time.
And that's what I'm showing my team when I'm Jeff Brom. I'm showing those teams that analytics say they should win, but the results were a loss.
Well, Jeff Brom, to your point, will have a lot to discuss with his team. And they improve now to 6-1. 3-1 in conference for Boston College. They lose another one. BC, it has been a tough go for BC. They dropped to 1-7. Their worst record through 8 games since 1989. Some final thoughts, Rod, on this one.
Yeah. BC first, man, I'm impressed by the way that they continue to fight. But the Cardinals, they showed up here today. It wasn't easy, it wasn't pretty, but great teams find a way to win. And so they're still in contention for ACC championship, a college football playoffs. All of everything that they want is right in front of them.
All right, that'll do it for us. Louisville victorious 38-24. For our entire crew here, led by Evan Hickman, our producer, Joe Castellano, Ted Kozak, our spotter and stats, Rodney McLeod, Victoria Ireland. I'm George Sedano. Good night from Louisville. Let's send it to Kelsey.
I can hear y'all. Yeah, I can hear y'all. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can hear. Yeah. He's supposed to be talking. He's supposed to be talking. Yeah, I can hear y'all.
PNC post-game press conference is starting soon. Listen live on your way home. And remember, PNC is the official bank of the Louisville Cardinals.
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
The Kentucky Office of Highway Safety reminds you to play safe behind the wheel and watch for pedestrians as you leave the stadium and head home. Be safe.
All right. All right. All right. All right.